This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks lost to the Memphis Grizzlies 120-108 in a game that was as frustrating as it comes for me because the Knicks continuously cut the lead down to 6, 5, 4. And every single time, ladies and gentlemen, they wouldn't get a rebound. They turned the basketball over. Poor execution. And the Memphis Grizzlies would come down and knock down a 3. They got every key rebound. They knocked down every key three-pointer to take the lead from 4 to 7 or 6 to 9 or 8 to 11. The Knicks could just not make the key play to get them over the top. And every time the Knicks got in position, it's like they would rush or just play too fast for themselves. They couldn't get over the top, ladies and gentlemen. They couldn't get over. They couldn't get over. Shout out to my man Corey, because in the game preview, he left me a super chat. I didn't get a chance to read it. He said, I fear we're going to get ran out of the gym tonight. We didn't necessarily get run out of the gym. The Knicks played okay basketball. They could have played better, but they just didn't have enough to get over the top. Too many wide open three-point shots. Too many missed opportunities. One of the biggest missed opportunities, in my opinion, Emmanuel Quickly gets a 4-point play. Right? We cut the lead. The Knicks cut the lead to 5. The Memphis Grizzlies call a timeout. It's 95-90. The Knicks play some decent defense, get the basketball on a break. This is the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it's the fourth quarter. I don't know. I don't remember which quarter it was. But the Knicks get a fast break. They're on the break with a chance to cut it to 3. And Emmanuel Quickly gets blocked. I'm not blaming Emmanuel Quickly for it. He went to the basket. He got blocked. They come down, knock down a 3. 5-point swing, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw these 5-point swings time and time again where the Knicks would botch a play and they'd knock down a quarter 3, a wing 3. Another play, there's a lot of them. Another play that really got to me. I think it was maybe a 6-point game in the fourth quarter. And instead of grabbing the rebound, Evan Fournier was trying to tip it to God knows who. When he had the opportunity to tip it, the ball gets carried around. It finds an open Memphis 3-point shooter, which they were open all night long off of scrambled balls. Knocks down a 3. The Knicks couldn't find themselves enough energy to get over the top, ladies and gentlemen. They lose to the Memphis Grizzlies 120-108. In a frustrating game, very frustrating game for me. We got a panel here. We got Tony Crow in the building. We got Steph in the building. We got Big Bubba in the building. Got to play his intro music. He's mad right now. He didn't want me to play the intro music, but I hadn't played it in a while, ladies and gentlemen. So I had to play the intro music for Big Bubba. Big Bubba, enjoy it. You're the only one that's got intro music. All right. For the New York Knicks, they were led in scoring by Evan Fournier. And I know I just talked about a play that I wish he grabbed the rebound. And I'm not mad at him about the play. It was just a big play in my book. But he did have 30 points, 5 rebounds on the night. He was 8 for 12 from the three-point line. He was 11 for 18 from the field overall. R.J. Barrett had 23 points and 4 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson, a beast of a game tonight. 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 blocked shots for Mitchell Robinson. 8 blocked shots. We did a shoot around yesterday, and we talked about Mitchell Robinson. And, Uncle Fulio was, saying some things about a stretch five or whatever. Man, Mitchell Robinson is earning himself some greenery. I'll tell you that right now. Mitchell Robinson is balling, man. Love what he's doing. Julius Randle tonight, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. Shot inefficiently from the field. He shot 38.9% from the field and 16.7% from the three-point line. RJ Barrett, too, didn't shoot too well from the field. He shot 41% from the field and 25% from the three-point line. The only person for the New York Knicks shooting good was Evan Fournier. And get this, ladies and gentlemen. Get this. RJ Barrett, 25%. Julius Randle, 16.7% from the three-point line. Evan Fournier, 66.7%. The only person that shot well from the three-point line. Emmanuel Quickly, 28.6% from the three-point line. Obi Toppin, 0%. Quentin Grimes, 0%. Kemba Walker, 0%. The only person that shot well was Evan Fournier. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people from the New York Knicks actually had a percentage from the field. We had a couple of guys who shot 0% from the field. Kemba Walker, Alec Burks. Quentin Grimes was only 40% from the field. The Knicks did not shoot well on the night, ladies and gentlemen. As for the Memphis Grizzlies, well, that's a different story. Very different story. There was 41% from the three-point line. Seemed like they were knocking down threes all over the place. From the way it felt to me, I felt like they were 50% from the three-point line or something like that. They were led in scoring by Jaren Jackson Jr., 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Zaire Williams, he had 21 points and 4 rebounds. Not a guy that you expected to score. Came into the game averaging about 6 points per game, 21 points tonight. Ja Morant, 23 points, 9 assists. Desmond Bane had 13 points. DeAnthony Melton, he had 14 points. Brandon Clark, he had 10 points. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the New York Knicks. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this. Tony Crow, what's poppin', man? How you feeling tonight?
Oh man, I was doing much better earlier in the day with the triple header and the podcast, but after this loss, it's like I left and nothing changed. We same Knicks that I left, 10 days ago.
Yeah, man.
Except Mitch, Mitch, you gotta pay Mitch.
Mitch is balling. Mitch is doing his
That's
thing.
the theme of the night for me.
Mitch is doing his thing without a doubt. Just looking at this game, what do you take from this basketball game?
All right, I'll say this: they play hard. They play hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that they would live by the three tonight, and it seems like when they shoot the three well, they kind of are in it with anybody. When they're not shooting the three well, as a team, we can't find another way to beat you. It's like I could think of maybe 3 games that we won where we shot the ball from 3 bad. We need to figure out what else we can do when we're not shooting the ball well. And then part of it, you pointed out, man, the loose balls, those 50-50 balls, you got to get them. Those 50-50 rebounds, you got to get them and limit those turnovers, especially down the stretch.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I think, that's a big key, man. Those 50-50 balls, grabbing those rebounds, it was a struggle for the Knicks in that category tonight because they just could not get it done. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't make the key play. They couldn't get the key stop. Steph, any thoughts about tonight's game? I know you got thoughts about tonight's game, but what are they?
Yeah. We lost to a better team, Sam. And I know you don't want to hear it when there's opportunities that we had to win, but we lost to a better team.
Yeah.
Every mistake we made, every mistake, whether that was a deflection we didn't come up with, untimely turnover, they capitalized on it. Maybe once they didn't, or twice, but for the most part, they capitalized on all of our mistakes. I thought we were in this game, Randle, RJ, Fournier, Mitch, all showed up for the same game. Now, they may not have been as efficient. They may not have, like you pointed out, hit the three. But in terms of their counting stats, they all showed up tonight. And that was the reason why we were able to score 108 points. We still lost, though. But 108 points on most nights, we're going to be all right. So I'm not that upset.
Okay. All right. They did show up. Yeah, I think that the big difference between this game is between the Knicks and the Grizzlies tonight really is efficiency, turnovers too. The Knicks, I don't even want to say uncharacteristically, because over the last 5 games, they've been turning the ball over about 15 times a game, and they had 15 turnovers tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies, only 9 turnovers. I don't know if it's because they're trying to play a faster pace, and so they're turning the ball over, or what. But they're turning the ball over a little bit more nowadays.
Yeah.
Big Bubba, talk to me, man.
I know Steph is okay. I'm pissed. I'm more pissed because I just seen things like, just the way quickly played after the 4-point play to me was disgusting. Listen, I was used to J.R. Smith, but at least we all knew J.R. Smith was going to be inconsistent. But this dude, quickly, man, after that 4-point play, it just became trash basketball.
You said at least we knew J.R. Smith was going to be inconsistent?
Yeah, we knew.
You don't know Emmanuel Quickly's going to be inconsistent by now?
Well, yeah, I know.
I think he's going to be inconsistent by now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Kimbo, Sim, I mean, look, this story is over. They need to stick a fork on him. I mean, it is just done. I'm not gonna lie, Sim. I was yelling at my TV because Kimbo was just that bad tonight. He don't need to play no more. It's just pointless to play him. He literally was just there. And then honestly, man, Thibs frustrated me too, man. I didn't like the way Thibs substituted today. I thought the substitutions were just off. A little bit of the rotations were off. And what I took away from this game is that since Mark Jackson or Raymond Felton, we need a point guard because Lord have mercy, we just look. We need some organization.
Let me ask you this, right? Because what did you want Tom Thibodeau to do with the rotations tonight?
I just felt like, for example, right, Kemba Walker should have not have played tonight. After that first quarter or whatever, just should have never played him. It was just literally useless. And I remember we were talking earlier. I know we're going to talk about it more in the show, but just that third quarter just literally frustrated the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie to you. I was beyond frustrated because there were times when the Knicks were coming back. They were playing through RJ. Everything was going good. We were cutting it down to 6, 7. And then what they'll do, they'll switch it. They'll switch. They'll find a way to get Zaire or whatever. Is his name Zaire?
Mm-hmm.
Zaire on Kemba, and he'll score. I've seen that multiple times in the third quarter where we'll cut it down and they'll switch on to Kemba. I didn't like that stretch in the third. RJ, Randle, Fournier, and Mitch played great. Kemba was the weak spot in that, and I just think he should have took him out. And also too, after the 4-point play with Quickly, it literally went downhill, and it just he got us to 5. And he literally got us back to going back up 10. But with his play alone.
I mean, so I don't know if it was all Quickly in that stretch.
No, Sim. It
wasn't.
I counted it. Sim. I promise you, and you can go back on the tape, or you can go by the play. I looked at the position. It was 4 straight possessions. If you don't want to count the block, that's fine. You don't have to count the block. Understandable. Even though Obi was trailing him, but after that, there were three straight possessions of Quickly shooting bad shots and just losing the momentum of the game. We could go back and look, but for me, I just thought Thibs should have took them out. And I'm not. I know it's useless to say I would have played McBride tonight, but I thought it would have helped tonight a little bit. But that's just me. Like I said, we just need a point guard in the worst way because we just need some organization. Because I can't stand Burks no more. I can't stand Burks. I can't stand Quickly, and I can't stand Kimba. It's just not working, and it's killing us trying to win games. Which is right now is looking smaller and smaller of us even sniffing the plan.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you know what? I feel okay. Go ahead, son.
I was gonna say I'm not mad at Quickly. You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand that. You know, I just it's just a waste to me, personally.
I'm just saying I'm not mad at him. After he made that shot, I expected him to come in and play inconsistent. He's a young kid, excited. He was going to try to test himself and see if he had, if he had it going or whatever it is.
Listen, that's all fine and dandy. If you're trying to be
I get it. It's a learning process. I don't want to hear if you're trying to be. He's a second-year player in the NBA. I'm not going to be mad at him. I can't be. He is a second-year player. He's played us 72 games last year and 50 games into this season. He is a second-year player. He's learning how to play the game at that level. You're going to make those mistakes. We continuously say, play all the young kids. When they're playing and they make these mistakes, live with it. I'm sorry, you got to. You got to live with it because he's going to make those mistakes. He's gonna.
But Sim, okay, hold on.
He's a young kid.
So, okay. No, but here's the thing. And I think this is where you're getting confused with me. I fully understand that they're gonna make mistakes, but IQ mistakes, I'm sorry, bro. There's a difference between IQ mistakes and then when a young player is playing good. Because no, you're not when you're down 5-6 points with like 3 or 4 minutes left, you don't shoot a 30-footer trying to win it all back. And he's known for doing that.
But these are mistakes that young players make. I'm sorry, that is a classic young player mistake. A classic. That is a classic. You can go all across the league and you're going to see young players make that exact same mistake. That's what you get when you play guys coming in their second year. I'm just not mad at him for that. You know what I mean? I don't believe that Emmanuel quickly lost us the game. We got to within 6 again. And we made enough mistakes.
Emmanuel quickly, too.
No. That was Evan Fournier.
I mean,
that wasn't Emmanuel quickly.
We got to within 6 again, and we made enough mistakes to lose it. I get it. And I want him to learn how to control his emotions and things like that in the game.
But he does it. He continues.
It's his second season in the NBA.
I think you missed the point. What I'm trying to say, bro, is that, if you're learning from it, yes. But he continues to do it. Like, bro. Hold on. Listen, when he made the 4-point play, he went to hero ball, bro.
Listen.
I literally looked at him doing it.
Isaiah, listen. What I'm saying to you, it's his second season in the NBA. Can you give him a few years to marinate? Talk to me in year 3.5, 4, and he's still that same guy. Then you're like, okay, we know exactly who he is. But if you want the young guys to play, I can understand you don't want them to make those mistakes, but you got to. Everyone says, let Obi play through his mistakes. Let that guy play through his mistakes. Quickly's going to have to make some mistakes to get better. And clearly, and I seen something from Tom Thibodeau tonight that I haven't seen on other nights. The Knicks got down. It was a 10-point game going into the second quarter. The bench came in. The lead ballooned to 18. And normally, he would quickly start snatching people out. He made one substitution. He took out Burks and he put R.J. Barrett in the game, and he let them guys continue to play. Even though they didn't really shave the lead off that much, he let them go ahead and play through that time. And I was surprised because normally he starts getting those guys out. Let me get Randle in. Let me get Evan Fournier in, whoever. I mean, he didn't do that this time. He let them go and then, got the main starters back in the game to, finish it off. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But you don't learn everything in one play. You don't learn everything in one game. You don't learn everything in 15 games. You don't learn everything in 50 games. It takes some seasoning. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not pissed off at Emmanuel quickly. I want to see him make better decisions, yes, but I'm not pissed off because I know it's going to take time for him to learn it. If he's going to learn it, it's going to take time for him to learn it. Steph, you were getting ready to say something on the situation.
Yeah, Isaiah said that if we continue like this, we're not going to make the play-in or sniff the play-in. But I actually felt different in this game. I thought that the Knicks approach was there. I thought that they kept fighting. They kept getting back in the game, even though they went down by 11, down by 9, whatever it is. They kept fighting. They never gave up. Randle, to me, seemed engaged throughout the game. Fournier was hitting shots. I just feel like, I was like, wow, if the Knicks play like this, I'm not that afraid of this West Coast trip. I'm not saying we're going to win, those games, but this is what I've been looking for, consistency of effort. And those three guys showing up, and they did. And Mitch showed up as well. So I think if the Knicks play like this, they might be able to sniff the playoff. They scored 108 points. Some of it had to do with pace, though. Yeah.
But Steph, here's the issue, though. That we'll go through this, right? We'll see these guys play like this. You see RJ play, good. You see Randle play good. You see him, and then the next game, it's like,
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And it's getting, we're in this boat because of this. We'll play hard against Memphis, and then the Lakers we might play hard against the Lakers because they're almost as bad as us. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, again, the common theme for this season has been inconsistency. It's just the common thing for them.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Right, but the inconsistency of effort is what kills me. I mean, you have a chance if you approaching the game a certain way, but if you, like that Miami game, just, walking dead, there's just no chance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tony, any thoughts on, the whole thing with Emmanuel quickly?
I think we know who he is, and we got to expect that. I think when he's hot, he's taking them same exact shots, and we love him when they fall. And we got to know that he ain't going to make them all. And granted, he's in a slump right now. So the only way he's going to get out of the slump is to shoot his way out. Shooters are going to shoot. So, I mean, we going to have to live with it.
I wouldn't call this a slump.
Or die with it. And which we
or die with it.
Right. I think if Rose was here, we would have had a much better chance. I think it's just the lack of a point guard that we have to put IQ in this spot that he is not ready for. He's just not.
I also think when Rose comes back, Grimes is going to move ahead of quickly anyway. He just takes better shots. I think
I
Burks
do.
I said Burks.
Well, no. You said Grimes, but I think I don't even think we're gonna have to worry about that after the trade deadline. To be honest,
you don't think you have to worry about what?
I mean,
we're not worried about if
the depth
what Tony said about when D Rose come at Grimes taking over quickly minutes. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
You think that it's going to be either people waived or trades made so that everyone has their spot, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That could be. I agree with Big Bubba. I am very much over the whole Kemba Walker thing, bro.
Can we just get a minute?
He played too long in that third quarter. He did.
Yeah. He played almost the entire third quarter.
Yeah,
almost the entire third quarter.
And Sam, I gotta say this, man. I do appreciate Tom Thibodeau. I sometimes see the vision, but Lord have mercy, fam. That was the only. If he would have put, it was to the point where even though Burks was playing like doodoo, I would have said put Burks in instead of Kemba Walker because that joint was just crazy watching that. Like I said before. We were close into that third quarter. Like that first unit was finally clicking, and then, we'll get it down to 6, and then they'll switch it to Kemba, and Zaire would just score on them, bro. I'm like,
I think
it was just frustrating.
But I think that is the reason why he left the lineup in the game because the lineup was clicking. They were making a run, and how many times, for any coach, do you say, if this lineup starts to work, I'm just going to let it rock? I think that's probably what his mindset was. I'm going to let this thing play out and see what happens. I do think that he left him in too long, right? When finally got to the end of the third quarter, I think the Knicks were down 12 at half, and they were down 13 at the end of the third quarter, although they had cut it down to 6 or 7 on multiple occasions. But it was the same thing over and over, though. Big shot after big shot, the Memphis Grizzlies kept hitting. The Knicks go on a 5-point run, then the Grizzlies go on a 6 or 7-point run.
Right.
The Knicks go on an 8-point run, then the Memphis Grizzlies go on a 9-point run. The Knicks could just not stop those runs from happening throughout the game.
And you know what's crazy, Sim? I don't know if you guys were watching ESPN one, but you heard when you heard the Memphis Grizzlies mic'd up, you heard Jaren Jackson say, "Yo, they are collapsing so deep that it is easy for us to score." Like Jaren Jackson was saying that during the game.
Well, he said protect the ball because they're collapsing so hard they're trying to tip the ball from the behind.
That's what he said. Yeah.
That's what he told him. He didn't say anything about shooting or kicking it out or scoring. He told him to protect the basketball. Yeah. But I got you.
Hey,
I got you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But we got to reiterate, man. I think you just got to sit Kimball, man. Like, it frustrated me, Sim, because, like, look, when they sat Kimball, they was like, how are you going to sit a 2-time All-Star, da-da-da? Fam, the knees are gone.
Right.
It's just time to let it go, man. It's just time, man.
Steph, I want to ask you, right? Because third, fourth quarter, whenever it was, Randle got a tech.
Mm-hmm.
There was a double tech.
Right.
Randle was over in their huddle.
Right.
Right. But I think I don't know what transpired and made people start pushing or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But what I believe is that the timeout was over, right? And Memphis was still in their huddle. But if the timeout is over and players are on the court, you can go stand wherever on the court you want. And if that's over next to the other team's huddle, you can do that.
Right.
I don't think Randle should have got a tech because they started pushing him out of the huddle, but you are allowed to do that. Shouldn't have been because Randle was on the court.
Right.
Right? Randle was on the court.
Right.
You can do that all day long. I don't think he should have got a tech for that.
I agree.
I think Memphis should have got that technical. Would it have changed the game? No. But I just think that it should have been Memphis, the Grizzlies, who got that technical foul. He's allowed to be on the court, even if it's in their huddle. Once that, however many minutes goes off the clock and the huddle's over, the timeout's over, and the referees call the teams in, because you seen R.J. Barrett was on the floor, Randle was on the floor, a couple other Knicks players were on the floor. You can go stand in their huddle as long as you're standing on the floor. I don't know. What's your thoughts there, Steph, on that?
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think it was immature and pointless. As someone in the chat said, he was standing there. Baines pushed him. He pushed him back. I think the official gave the double tech, just to, keep everything, copacetic. But I to me, that was just a non-factor. Yeah. I didn't think that was a big deal at all.
I don't either. Someone said it's pointless. Why is it pointless? That's actually gamesmanship. I tell my players all the time, if we're on the foul line shooting, or the opposing team is on the foul line shooting, and the coach calls over one of his players to talk, you can go stand right next to them because you're on the court, and there's no violation at all.
Right.
There's no violation. Once the referee tells the coaches, hey, it's time to come out on the court, and the teams come out on the court, you can go stand wherever you want. If you take a look at it, Julius Randle was not off the court. He was on the basketball court. I don't think it was immature or whatever. That's your opportunity to go hear what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity there. They should have broke the huddle in a timely fashion and came out on the court. There were several Knicks players on the court. That's gamesmanship to me. I'm sorry. You're allowed to do that. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. Looking at the stats behind the game, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks, I want to make sure this is right, and I refreshed my screen multiple times to make sure this is right. Lost the rebounding battle 68. Okay, now it's updated. All right, now it's updated. So it's actually 51-48. I don't know why NBA.com does this. So the Knicks lost the rebounding battle 51-48, not 68-53. I was about to say, wow, the Knicks gave up 68 rebounds. That's ridiculous. But no, they lost it 51-48. So I'm going to update that. It felt like much more to me. And maybe it was just loose balls that were being batted around.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, but it really felt like the Knicks gave up so many more rebounds to the Grizzlies. You know, but apparently it's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Apparently it's not the case. Either way, the Knicks lost the rebounding battle, and I thought that was something that the Knicks needed to win tonight. 30 assists for the Memphis Grizzlies, 23 for the New York Knicks. A lot of those assists came on wide open three-point shots for the Memphis Grizzlies. Wide open three-point shots. And even when those three-point shots came out of a broken play, you know, they were hitting them, they were knocking them down, and the Knicks were not able to recover to those broken plays. 11 steals from the Grizzlies, 5 from the Knicks, 10 blocks by the Knicks, 8 of them from Mitchell Robinson. Almost had a triple-double tonight. 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 blocks. He's playing like a beast down there. You know, he keeps doing that. You know, he's going to add significantly to his bid to move up to 4th place on that block list for the New York Knicks. 5 blocks for the Memphis Grizzlies, 9 turnovers for the Grizzlies, 15 for the Knicks. All right, and I'm watching that total because we talked about it in the game preview. The last 5 games, the Knicks have given up 15 turnovers a game. You know, they're a team that was giving up like 12.5. They've been turning the ball over more. I don't know if it's because they're trying to play a faster pace, you know, get more shots up or you know, keep the ball popping, keep the ball moving. And I'll tell you, I will gladly give up a few more turnovers to see the ball pop a little better because I think it's going to help the Knicks better.
Right.
The Knicks shot 43% from the field. So did the Grizzlies. They shot 43% from the field, but the Grizzlies shot 41% from 3, while the Knicks shot 33.3% from 3.
Game.
Yeah. That's it right there. That's it. The Knicks, 77% from the free throw line. The Memphis Grizzlies, 70% from the free throw line. Points in the paint, the Knicks 50, the Grizzlies 48. Second chance points. Here you go. Story of the game. Second chance points. The Memphis Grizzlies, 25 second chance points. 25. The Knicks, 15. There's a 10-point difference right there in second chance points. You know, and you've seen it all game long. The Knicks can't get that big rebound, tipping the ball around. Big Steven Adams, man, he does a great job tipping that ball out. If he can't get the rebound, he gets a finger on it, tips it out so that the Grizzlies can get it. And he did it all night long.
He acting like prime Tyson Chandler.
Right.
Oh man, I don't know if y'all remember the controversy with him. Remember they used to be like, man, tips ain't rebounds. He'd be like, yes it is.
Yes it is. Right. Right. Memphis Grizzlies 16 fast breaks points, and the Knicks actually had 18 fast break points. You can look at 2 areas, ladies and gentlemen: second chance points and 3-point percentage. Lost the Knicks the game right there. Those 2 areas lost the Knicks the game.
What was the points in the paint, Sam?
Points in the paint, Grizzlies 48, the Knicks 50.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You know, listen, for all intents and purposes, the Knicks actually played a decent game. They didn't shoot well from the field, but they played a decent game. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say that was all the second half too, because we was getting killed in the paint in the first half.
Yeah.
So they fought their way back in the paint.
Yeah. 1975, Jamrock said, no, Sim, if you look at the type of turnovers, they were primarily careless turnovers. I agree. But sometimes when you're trying to play a little bit faster, you know, you make some unforced turnovers. You know, and I'm not trying to disagree with you and say, no, they're just, they're trying to play faster. I agree with you. But also, together, I think they can, they're not mutually exclusive. Right. You might have some unforced and careless-looking turnovers if you're trying to play a little bit faster. You know what I mean? If like Evan Fournier one time had, tried to go coast to coast and he turned the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Which it could look careless, but maybe he's trying to push that pace a little bit more, trying to do what the coach wants him to do. I don't know, but they could look like careless turnovers if you're trying to push the pace and turn the ball over. Let's talk about something good, man. Let's talk about Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about Mitch. Go ahead, Tony. Talk about Mitch, man. I love what Mitch.
Pay
is doing,
that
so let's
man.
talk about Mitch.
Pay that man. He's rounding in the shape, and this is again one of his best. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I think he's figuring it out. I think he's maturing. He's matured a lot year to year. Anyway, just from like a person, not just basketball, but just as a person, we've seen that. We talked about it earlier. For him to reach that Rudy Gobert tier, I don't think he's even been in the league long enough to do that. But I think he can do that. I think he has that type of potential. The ferocity in his game tonight, the ferocity in his dunks and his putbacks, probably all of January or most of January, coming into now February. I think he's arrived. And obviously he's not a finished product, but I think he's figuring some things out. We've seen him putting the ball on the floor a couple times as of late. Pay this man, figure everything else out afterwards. Everybody talk about cap space and this and that. Whether we pay him, I think it's still going to be a reasonable contract. We haven't given out any contract that is untradeable or not reasonable. A cap strap. So if you follow the same model of what you've been doing with the guys we've been signing, I think do it and make it work. And we worry about maybe a stretch five off the bench or, somebody who could change the dynamic. But keep that man, pay that man and keep him.
Doris Burke said Mitchell Robinson's presence is outstanding.
Yeah.
And it was.
It was. Tony, I agree. He's playing with a ferociousness that he's just playing ferocious. You know what I mean? I love when Ja Morant, he came down, he tried to cock it back on Mitch. He tried to cock it back. But Mitch, he stepped up. He blocked it, took the foul, but he wasn't going to let him dunk on him.
Right.
He wasn't letting him come down there, and I know, and I do too. Want a center that can shoot threes, but I don't want to give that up. If Mitch can continue to play like that, I don't want to give that up. I want to keep that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to keep that. You know what I mean? I don't know how much he's going to be worth or what the contracts are going to look like, but I want to keep him as a part of this basketball team, doing those things as long as he continues to do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Isaiah, what's your thoughts on it, man?
I hate to be this guy. But no, Steph said something that...
Be the guy.
Steph
I got my finger right here on the trigger.
Steph said something that really just stuck out with me. It's his contract year. I mean, look at I was kind
of tongue in cheek, but
I'm sorry, Steph. I had to put you in this. You on my side, but no, look, right. No, what Mitch is doing great, but
go ahead.
But hold on, look, man. Players know, and Sim, players know.
They know if it's their contract year or not.
They know it's their contract year.
Obviously, they know that. I hope so. If they don't know it's their contract year, then that's a problem by itself.
No, that's true. But I'm just saying we got to be careful. Because. But I'm saying that because just looking at the team. Oh, hold on, Tim. I mean, Tony, you're shaking your head, but all the players that we paid that were hustling last year, that were playing good last year, and are we wrong to say that we should hold on because all the players that we literally signed suck? Minus D Rose.
But okay, but here's the thing. So if all the players that you signed are not playing up to par, is it all of those players just their fault? Or is there something else happening? I think you do have to ask yourself that question.
No, of course.
You got to ask yourself that question. But also,
no.
Wait a minute. But wait a minute. We've seen signs of this in previous seasons from Mitchell Robinson. It wasn't consistent, but we've seen signs of this. Also, and we can get to this later, somebody pointed out in the chat that it's also RJ Barrett's contract year. So is that the same? You got the same thought process? I mean, if you're going to use that logic for one person,
he's extension eligible to this year.
If you're going to use that logic for one person, I guess you got to use it for everybody, right?
But hold on. Hold on. But there's a difference between Mr. Robinson and RJ Barrett. We see what. Look. Okay.
No.
Listen, it's just been 1 month, Isaiah. It's just been one.
No,
year.
It's not RJ Barrett's contract year.
It's been on the.
It's not RJ Barrett's contract year. He has one more year.
Next year. That's next year.
That's next year.
No, but okay. So okay, that don't even count that. But I will say this though. Yeah, I won't even say that. Listen, I'm just saying that we're just be careful how much you give them, because again, we Noel, Burks, all these guys.
I get it.
But, also too, I want to say Josh is wrong, by the way.
But also, if he was performing terribly, you know what you would be saying? This is his contract year, and he's performing like this.
I would have said that.
Huh?
I would have said that.
Yeah, you would have said that. This is his contract year, and this is how you perform in your contract year. So, he can't win for losing. I expect him to perform, Listen, I don't think Mitchell Robinson, and here goes your beard again, getting in the conversation. Sorry. I don't expect Mitchell Robinson to, take his money and then all of a sudden, blow up and be 500 pounds.
We hope not.
Can't move. I don't think.
But I will say this too, Sim, that I want it to be known Josh was wrong because he tried to say that Mitch can't play with RJ and Randle. He's clogging up the paint. I don't want to hear that crap no more. I don't want to hear it.
I don't think anything has changed. It's not like he went out there today and hit 3 threes or something.
Right.
I don't know if anything's changed, but
I still think this
mid-range Mitch.
Mid-range Mitch. I mean, there's still a need for a shooting center. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. There's a need for a shooting center, but there's also a need for what Mitchell Robinson brings to the table. Yeah, you know what I mean? And you can have the need for both. And you can bring in a center that can shoot the basketball. It doesn't mean he has to be your starter. You know what I mean? Because you always got the luxury of bringing that guy in off the bench when you need him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Mitchell Robinson's playing good basketball. I really do like what I'm seeing from Mitchell Robinson over the past, however long it is. So I hope that he continues to excel and to get better. He's moving well on his feet. He's playing good defense, even when he has to switch out on guards. He's being more aggressive, blocking, looking for blocks. But he's also being smart, learning how to go straight up in the air, not just always swinging. And also learning that he doesn't have to get every block. He can change the shot. So a good game for Mitch, big game for Mitch, man. 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 blocked shots from Mitch tonight.
He's on my fantasy team, ladies and gentlemen.
I know you love that one. I know you love that one right there. I know you love that one.
Yes.
I don't know. RJ Barrett, 23 points tonight. Didn't shoot that well from the field. But what do you see from RJ Barrett that you like, dislike? Steph, I'll start with you. Come to Tony.
I just like that RJ's approach, and I know I've been saying this pretty much since he started playing well. His approach is the same every game. he's aggressive. I thought he played good defense on Morant. The times when he was on him, listen, you're not going to stop him. You're not going to shut him down.
Right.
But you make him work a little bit. You make him into a passer, which I think they did. And it wasn't just RJ, it was the scheme as well. I noticed that made him more into a passer. He was inefficient tonight, like, I don't know, 9 for 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
He cut him up a few times, don't get me wrong. But I thought he was okay, both offensively and defense. Defensively, I like what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah. Tony?
Same, man. I agree. His approach to the game is the same. He's attacking the basket. He seems to be finishing at the basket a little bit more consistently, which has been like a flaw of his. He's been using his right hand as of late.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things that Stephen A is always complaining about with both him and Randle. I just think he's found that comfort, that confidence, and that comfort level to where, hopefully going forward, we can see this for an entire season, because he always seems to either have a slow start or hit a long slump where it's like a month long, and it's like, oh, what's going on with RJ? But so hopefully going forward, finish the season on this kind of stretch, this kind of run. If we make it in the playoffs, continue there as well. But I really want to see it for an entire season to know that, all right, he's arrived.
Right. He's it looks different right now though than it had in the past. In the past, it was more that he was a spot up shooter, catch a couple of, drives to the basket. But it looks different now because he's got more command of the basketball.
I think he looks more comfortable too.
Yeah.
It's like, like you see, he worked on things here and there. You see him try it, but it was times he was doing these kind of step backs, side steps, and he didn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like he knows how to do it within his rhythm.
Right.
He's not rattled when he does it, and it's looking smooth. Whether it goes in or not, it's looking good.
Right.
It's looking comfortable.
Yeah. Big Bubba, let me ask you a question, and then I want to get everybody else's thoughts and the chat. I want to get your thoughts too. Evan Fournier's been playing well for a good stretch now. He's been shooting the ball well, shooting a very high percentage from the 3-point line over the last probably 15 games. At least the last 10 games, he's been shooting the ball really well. Do you still want to trade Evan Fournier?
Yes.
Why?
I'm sorry, daughter. No, he's been playing good, man.
Yeah, you did that like he was on the stand.
Yes. Look, man, he's been playing better. And if he can continue, and listen, if he can continue this, then he is worth the $18 million. Then he is worth the stretching the floor out. And I like the hustle that I've seen from Evan Fournier. I really did. I really did like the hustle that I've seen from Evan Fournier. And look, you can never have enough wings. And if Evan Fournier continues to play good, then you have him, RJ, Grimes, and Cam Reddish. That sounds pretty good to me. If he continues to keep playing good, again, he's not going to score 30. Again, I was never one of those people, Sim, to want Evan Fournier to be like the 25 score guy. I want him to give me a consistent 16, 17 good efficient shots. Stick with his man. Stick with his man for the best of his abilities. That's what I want.
So what you just said that Evan Fournier over the last 15 games, 16.4 points, 48.6% from the field, 48.6% from three, 3.4 rebounds.
I can't complain.
Do you still want to trade him?
No, because for the price, because the price that if he's going to continue being like that, no, I don't want to trade him because that's what we were trying to go get somewhere else.
Okay,
for that price range.
All right.
But and also too,
just want to find out from you because
Oh no.
Sounded like before you wanted to trade him.
Yeah, because he was playing like crap and he sucked.
I mean, I just ask you if you want to trade him. When I first asked you if you want to trade him, what you say?
Yes.
You said yes.
I
And now at the end of the conversation, you say no.
No,
He's easily swayed, Sim. He's easily swayed. You didn't even have to go hard, and you changed his mind.
Nah. But I listen, man. I love the way Evan Fournier is playing. I see the hustle. I see him trying on the court. I see him like doing the little things that we've been all asking him to do. If he does, like I said, if he does those things, Knicks fans wouldn't be mad at him. It's when he does. It's when we get mad at him when he gives us a 25-point game, and then the next game he gives us 4 points and doesn't look interested in playing. Those are the games. Those are the games that we get pissed off at.
I'm saying he's been doing this consistently for 15 games. 15 games is what, a month?
It's about a month. Yeah, a month and a half.
Month and a half. That's that's a pretty good sample size.
No, look, he's giving us. I'll say this. He's giving us more. Well, he's clearly giving us more offensive gains than Reggie Bullock. That's clear. Probably. I don't think Reggie Bullock had a 30-point game last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't think so.
That's not his. That's not his.
That wasn't his style. But I will say this. Speak on RJ real quick. Look, man. Again, what can we say about the kid? Yeah, at one point, and I'm not gonna lie to him. At one point in the beginning of the game, I'm like, oh man, RJ's gonna have one of those nights where it's like he's looking bad. He's trying too hard to impress Ja and confirm that he's a third pick. Nah, man, he let the game come to him. Again, I thought he played great defense on Ja. Again, we all know the 7 for 27 wasn't all just RJ. It was a combination of him, Grimes, and quickly
Mitch.
A little bit. Mitch too. Mitch
played a big role in that.
Yeah, Mitch did play a big part. But I will say, man, hey, I actually wanted RJ to guard Ja, and he did for the most part. He did a good job. Look, Ja in the first half had 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting, and he ended up 9 for 27.
Yeah. I mean,
so again, right? You can't. Again, a lot of that was Mitch, but man, I'm just happy to see what RJ's doing because if he can, I'm not gonna. And again, if he can defensively stand toe to toe, not toe to toe. If he defensively can work with Ja, I mean, this kid is becoming a two-way player every game, man. He's facing the best competition. He's gonna have his hands full with LeBron or whoever on Saturday. But listen, man, this kid is up for the challenge, man. And he also scored. I mean, it wasn't the most efficient. Also, Susan, I was very frustrated.
We going. I'm still on a topic. I'm still on one topic.
Oh, my bad.
Jumping around,
my bad.
You jumping around, Steph. Yes. Same question about Evan Fournier. Looking at the production that he's giving. Looking at the production that he's giving us. Do you want to trade him or you want to keep him around and see where this goes?
We have a point guard. I think if we have a point guard, I want to keep him. I like Fournier, but if we can get something better, Sam, we gotta go for it. But I like the way he's playing now. The thing with Fournier is that he'll have games like this where he's active and he's aggressive, not even hitting shots. He's just active and aggressive. And then he'll have other games where he's just non-existent. But if these 15 games is indicative of how he's going to be for the rest of his time in New York, I wouldn't mind keeping him.
Yeah. Tony?
I'm a little torn. Because I think a lot has changed with Fournier, but I think the team is really looking for him now. I think he's really being allowed to play to his strengths.
Right.
He's not being pigeonholed into spot up shooting.
Right.
So I don't even know if we've seen the best of his capabilities yet. You know what I mean? So part of me wants to be like, no, keep him. I think he is a good piece. I agree with Steph. If we can get a true point guard in, a non-defensive liability point guard in, I think that changes a lot.
Everything.
It does.
It's so crazy. I'll go as far as to say Peyton would be better right now for this team. And I know the chat don't like to hear it, but I believe that in the sense that one, he's not going to be a defensive liability. He's going to be a defensive plus most times. But I mean, Kemba's not giving us anything, to be honest. And that's my guy. But so if we had either just a point guard savant, ball handle playmaker, or just a defensive point guard who's like adequate at playmaking. Doesn't have to be the greatest shooter.
Right.
But we'll take the shot. You know what I mean?
But Tony, you know you're describing, right, Tony?
Who's that?
Everybody don't want to hear it. You got Deuce. You got Deuce. You literally got. No.
You think he's ready, Isaiah? Come on.
Oh,
look at IQ. We complaining about IQ when Obi. These guys are inconsistent. He's going to be inconsistent. And if you're willing, you are. Look how you are with IQ.
No, but hold on. There's a difference.
You're going to get some of the same thing.
No, but here's the difference, though. Mm-hmm. Will Deuce make? Deuce won't do what IQ be. Deuce will not. Hold on, no. Steph, I know he's gonna make mistakes. It's him. Don't do it because you know Deuce not gonna. You know Deuce not gonna shoot a 30-foot shot.
No, it's not gonna
logo with 3 minutes left.
You know what?
He's not gonna do that.
Hold up. You know, first of all, you don't know what he's gonna do because he hasn't been in that situation. That's one. But secondly, when he has played, and I don't have any problems with Deuce playing at all. I love to see him out there on the floor. But I've seen him over dribble, get very dribble happy, and pull up some shots that I didn't think were good shots too. I didn't say anything about it because I'm like, okay, whatever. He's a young guy learning how to play the basketball game in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen his tendency to over dribble the basketball, and I can guarantee you people will start getting frustrated with that. Any one of these players that come out there, people are going to find some kind of frustration with him. But would I mind seeing him play? Of course not. I would love to see Deuce out there on the floor.
Can I ask you one question?
But he's not perfect. He's not perfect.
I want an honest
But he can't start.
But I want an honest answer. I want Andy to answer this. Would Deuce give us more than what Kimba's giving us right now? Be honest.
Don't know.
And definitely don't know.
When Deuce, those few games when everybody was in health and safety protocol, what did he do?
I gotta look back.
He didn't do much. That's a very short sample size, right? So you can't say, he was thrust into the starting lineup like that night. So, you can't say much, but he didn't do much. You know what I mean? He needs some seasoning. So I don't think he needs to be a starter, but I would love to see him get playing time so he can get that seasoning and get comfortable, then get his chance.
I'll say this. I think he'll stay in front of his man better than Kimba. I'm almost
it's
certain
more
about
to
that.
it than that, too.
Yeah,
no, of course. No, of course, Steph. I know if Deuce was okay, I wouldn't want Deuce to start because I think that would be way too much for him, especially as a rookie. But if you move IQ to the starting five and put Deuce in that second year, and just not have Kimba play, I think it will be a little bit better. I think our defense will be better.
Okay, I think
we'll be able to switch more.
So are you jumping Deuce over Cam? Because you talk about taking Kemba out, put whoever in that starting five, and then put Deuce. Hold on, and then put Deuce in that second unit. So you jumping Deuce over Cam? I mean, that's what it sounds like you're doing right now.
That's tough. Well, Burks gonna be gone. So it don't work out.
The answer is no.
Right. The answer is no. Are you jumping Deuce over Rose? Because you said Burks going to be gone. You said Burks going to be gone, but Rose is still coming back to play.
That's true. Well, but I mean, if you really wanted to, even though I wouldn't do it, you could start D Rose. Even though I wouldn't do it, I prefer D Rose to come off the bench. Hey, look, if you let Kimba walk or you release Kimba, and maybe you get somebody to take Burks. You can move Deuce and Cam in there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want anybody to get injured, but sometimes I just wish these young guys could get like 25 games so y'all could see.
you know, it'd be nice for them to be able to,
Steph, I would have complained, to be honest with you. If Deuce and them guys are playing, I would have complained.
You said you wouldn't play?
No, I would have complained.
Oh, okay. Big shout out to B Smooth. He said, the first Knicks game I've seen in a minute, Fournier is still trash. He said, and y'all need a point guard. Y'all like a trade for Dennis Schroeder. I mean, Dennis Schroeder would probably help this team, but, I'm not banking on him to do anything long-term, so no.
Right.
I'm trying to go get a point guard. I mean, what's the sense of bringing in a point guard that's just going to fill in space until the season ends? If that's the case, you might as well just rock with what you got and do what you got to do. So I'm not trying to make a trade for a Dennis Schroeder that we're not looking at to have him around long term. So, not that he's not a bad player, but we're not looking to have him around as a long-term point guard. The Knicks are going to make a move for a point guard. I think they're going to make a move for somebody who's going to be here for a little while. Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Fulio, he said, I think the pace was faster tonight. That's one way we can make that work. Talking about Mitch and Julius Randle on the floor together. More opportunities in transition for us. Josh is right 80% of the time. Okay. Josh is right 80% of what time? I don't know. But it does. I think it does. If the Knicks are playing a little bit faster, I think it does. It does help. You've seen Julius Randle several times catch the ball and immediately make a really, really quick move to the basket, especially in the first half. Several times he caught the ball and boom, he's going to the basket, kicked it out to RJ, kicked it out to whoever, for some open 3-point shots. That is, and over the past few games, Julius Randle's been making quicker moves to the basket, I think. He's been getting caught in less double teams. A lot of that is because he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. It's RJ's got it in his hands. Evan Fournier's got it in his hands, etc. So he is doing some of those things. Just moving quicker with the ball, making a quicker decision, getting to the basket quicker, and that is going to help the flow between him and Mitchell Robinson on the floor. And I also think another way to nullify the whole, Mitchell Robinson not being able to shoot threes is have more occasions where Randle's either in the corner or on the wing and you're operating with RJ and Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So it opens the floor. It opens the floor up a little bit more for Mitchell Robinson. It opens it up a little bit for RJ Barrett, because guess what? RJ Barrett wants to go left and Julius Randle wants to go left, right? So if you put Julius Randle, on one side of the floor and let RJ Barrett go to his left, it's going to open it up for RJ Barrett to get some room. I'm seeing a lot of times Julius Randle is on, the left wing. RJ Barrett is on the right wing so that he can drive to his left. Mitchell Robinson is in that dunker spot or setting a screen for RJ. So this way, when RJ Barrett drives to his left, if a double team comes, he can use his left hand to kick it out to Julius Randle for the three. Or he can lob it up to Mitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's one way that they can spread that floor, even though you don't have crazy shooters out there, because Randle can hit it enough where it has to be respected. RJ can hit it enough where it has to be respected. Fournier can hit it enough where it has to be respected. So they can't just leave those guys all day long like they would do Mitch, right? You can have Mitch out at the 3-point line and that opposing center just float in the lane for a couple of seconds, without getting a defensive 3 seconds call, of course. With Randle, those guys, you can't do that. They're at least going to respect it. So they're finding ways to work it out. You know what I mean? Finding ways to work it out. Shout out to 1975 Jam Rock. I know this is an old one, so I don't know exactly who he's talking about. He said we can't have two slow-footed players on the floor. I'm not sure,
Fournier and RJ.
Fournier and RJ. Okay. That's who I thought he was probably talking about. They are two slow-footed players, and they both got to use some of the same skill sets to try to get to the basket. Randle is the one guy that can strike the basket with aggression. RJ, Fournier, they're going to kind of, I don't want to say tippy-toe their way in, but use a lot of craftiness to get in the lane and get to the basket Randle can strike it with aggression. But when you can strike that basket with aggression, you cause panic by the other team and make them collapse really hard.
Right.
And then that's when the kick out comes. When you got guys that are going to kind of tippy-toe their way into the lane, you know, the defense can kind of take their time getting there and be ready to close out, you know, because you're not striking it real hard. They don't have to be in panic mode to get to the basket. Yeah, it's something that we're really missing. And Kemba Walker's the same way. He's got to tippy-toe his way into the lane. We don't have that explosive burst from that guard position. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I'm hoping that they look for in a point guard too, who can really burst, you know, get that strong burst to the basket and put some fear in the defense. You know.
Hey, I'm sorry. I missed the Cleveland game. Did Randle play? Is he starting? Is he playing?
He played.
He played. I don't
Off the
remember if he was
bench.
starting or not. I think it's coming off the bench, yeah.
I really think he would have helped us.
Yeah, I think he would have too. I think he would.
But you know what, though, Tony? I will say this. I will say this, though. So here's the good thing, right? Well, I won't say good thing, but if the Knicks continue what they're doing and we somehow end up in the lottery, then you know what the Knicks need. You go get the best point guard available in the draft. Go do it.
Depending on where we fall, though.
Yeah, that is true. But again,
Right.
I mean, I've seen some things, Steph, where they got Ty kind of projected to us, and I think they got the other kid from Tennessee, Kenny Chandler or something like that, one of those point guards.
Yeah.
But like
And you
Tim
think
said,
they're going to be ready?
They better be. But no, but Sim, like I think Sim pointed out really good. We need a point guard to break these defenses down, and because Lord have mercy, man, it just each game it just gets worse and worse that it's screaming that the Knicks need a point guard. It's crazy, man.
Big shout out to Justin L. He said Randle is 47.5% on driving touches and 63% on elbow touches and paint touches. If he starts more on the left elbow and RJ starts working around screens, we can get movement and more efficient offense. Those are the type of things that, and I don't know how much Thibodeau does it or doesn't do it, but when you start to look at the nuance of players' games and start to say, we're going to make sure Randle's on this side and RJ's on this side, and RJ's going to the left and Randle's on his left side and he can drive to his left or whatever it is, put Randle at the left elbow so that he can go to his left. You can start to squeeze, some of the best out of your players. And maybe the Knicks are starting to do some of those things, make some of those type of adjustments, Either way, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks lose tonight 120-108 to the Memphis Grizzlies. They got the Los Angeles Lakers up next in L.A. to kick off their 5-game West Coast trip, which is going to be a brutal one. Without a doubt, they got the Los Angeles Lakers. Who's after the Lakers? The Utah Jazz?
I believe so.
The Utah Jazz, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, and then the Portland Trailblazers. I think the Knicks can beat the Lakers. I think they can beat the Portland Trailblazers. I don't know. I doubt it's going to be tough for them to get one of, Utah, Denver, Golden State. It'd be nice if they can snag one of them.
Gobert and Mitchell is out, though. I don't know if they'll be back by that time.
Well, I think Mitchell was playing tonight.
Oh, he is? Okay.
I think he played tonight.
No, he's not, son.
I was watching some of the game just before I came in, and it looked like he was on the court for jump ball.
You sure? Because I think you might have mistaken him for the other.
I don't think he's played today.
So I think you got him mistaken for one of the other kids.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Because he kind of looks like.
Yeah, they said it was a starless game.
Yep. No, he's not playing. He's not playing at all. Mike Conley, Trent Forrest, Azubuike, Royce O'Neal, and Bogdanovich. So, that's who's on the floor for the Utah Jazz. And right now, the Jazz are up 76-73.
Also, Sam, I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I know we're gonna get blown out in Denver. We haven't won in Denver since 2000. We haven't won in Denver since 2006.
We don't. We don't play well against Denver. Just their style of basketball is just not good for us. We struggle every time.
Remember we watched the game, me, you, and Andy. He's getting our butt kicked, man. And then the Warriors, you know what's funny, Sam? We played the Warriors good for like 2 quarters, and they just like, all right, game over. Third quarter, they just always go crazy on us.
Denver, and Golden State, we might be able to get that Utah game. Well, or that would be the one that we could get if we're going to get one of those 3. But what do you think? What do you think about this Los Angeles Lakers game, Steph? I'll come back to you.
I mean, they're not playing either. Is Bron back?
I don't think so. I don't know if he'll be back by Saturday, but he's not. I don't think
he won't be back. He won't be back by Saturday.
Listen, if my broken record again, if Randle, Fournier, and RJ show up, we have a good chance of winning. And now throw in Mitch. Yeah, I do think, but they have to show up, Sam.
They got to show up. Anthony Davis is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So like tonight, they started Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley, Anthony Davis, Stanley Johnson at power forward, and Malik Monk at small forward. That's what they started tonight. We'll see. I think that's a game that we can get. Right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are leading the Portland Trail Blazers 54 to 53 at halftime. I think we can beat the Lakers. I think we can beat Portland. Those are 2 games I think we can get on that West Coast trip. It'd be nice if we could snag one of those other 3 in the middle. Tony, what's your thoughts on this Lakers game?
I think that's going to be the easy one, or the easiest one. I don't think they're playing well. I think even when, LeBron has been in, he's been playing well, but the team has not. But, I mean, at the same time, we're playing better, but I wouldn't say we're playing well.
Right.
Right.
No, I think these next 5 games is going. If we ain't winning a winning record in the 5 games, the next 5 games, I think the season's done, and then at that point, maybe see what you got in these young guys. But
I mean, I think
it's dwindling.
Over these next 5 games, we're now what? We're getting 4 games below 500.
Yeah.
Right. If we drop 3 of these 5 games, that's gonna make us 5 games below 500. Right. And then we and the schedule doesn't get any softer.
Nope.
I don't know. I mean, what do we got to do to stay afloat? If we could remain 4 games below 500 until Derrick Rose gets back, right? Does that help us? Does that help the Knicks to stay afloat and be able to strike when Derrick Rose comes back?
What are the other teams doing? Like 4 games under 500. What is that? Is that 12 or 15? No, it won't be 15.
I mean, I'll be completely honest with you, Steph. So look, right? You gotta look at the standings. So if I look at the standings right now, real quick, let me see standings.
I mean, the Hawks are 2 games below 500.
Okay.
And they're in the 10th spot.
Yeah.
Right.
So look, I was gonna say something. So the Wizards are 24 and 27. The Hawks are the 10th seed, and they're 24 and 26. And the Knicks are the 12th seed, 24 and 28. So even if, let's say hypothetically we still won from Utah, and we go 3-2, we lose because we're gonna lose to Golden State, and we're just gonna lose to the Denver Nuggets. We just know that. So what's that? 3. So that's 27.
That makes us 27 below 500. That makes us
27 and 30. Yeah. So we have to bank on the Wizards playing bad and the Hawks that are playing better now to start losing these games so that they can match. So again, you put yourself in these holes when again.
Right. We get that you put yourself in a hole, but what we're saying is, can they stay afloat? And like Steph said, that's going to depend on what the other teams are doing. Can you stay afloat even if you're 4 games below 500 and if they, if you're within 2 or 3 games, then you're within striking distance. I'm just not sure the Knicks can do it all the way until February 25th. Right? That's
when he's coming back?
Somewhere around there after the All-Star break. Somewhere after the All-Star break.
So, Sim, I'll say this.
I know, man. I know. It's somewhere
Sim,
around there.
I'll say this: if the Knicks can be the 11th seed and be a game and a half away from the Hawks, you got a shot. But you have to be a game and a half. You can't be 2 games, 3 games. You got to be a game and a half away from the Hawks. That's striking distance. If you add D Rose, and you know you got RJ healthy, and you got Randle that took a couple of days off to refresh himself, because right now he's playing a lot better basketball. You know, so you can do it. You can do it. And Mitch stays the same.
Mitch,
You can do it. You got a chance to do it.
Yeah.
they got to play better. That's what you.
They gotta
that's
play
what
better.
It comes down to.
Yeah,
They
that's
got to
what it comes
play.
down to.
You gotta
Guys
play
show
better.
up.
That's what
Guys
it
got to
comes down
show
to.
up.
And also, two stuff. We got to shoot better. We got to shoot better. It's just,
That's
it
part
is
of
just-
playing
even
better.
to-
That's part of playing better.
because even tonight, right, there was moments. Well, yo, I forgot where it was, man. When we needed that 3 to get us to 2, and we just missed them. I'm like, fam. Oh,
Yeah. I don't know. He ain't lying.
Yeah,
He ain't lying. You know you're in trouble when Isaiah is doing math. His worst.
yeah.
subject.
Actually, I'm kind of gonna lie. It really is. I can't stand math. English, I'm pretty good at, but
Ooh, really?
yeah. Oh, shut up.
Really?
Shut up. Hey, in college, man, I got a couple A's, man. Yeah, I had this one teacher. She was mean as hell. She didn't want me to be great, but it's all right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't think the chat is going to appreciate this. The last game and this game, Randle looked okay to me. I'm not saying he shot well, he was inefficient, but I'm just talking about his efforts on the ball, offensive rebounding. He turned the ball over, he ran down. I don't think it was a block shot, but something happened. He's playing better. He's playing with energy. He seems to be more engaged to me. Do you feel more encouraged by that, or do you still feel like I felt like a week ago, like this guy got to go? Do you feel more encouraged by the past 2 games?
I feel
in
more
terms of keeping him, or
I
you
definitely
still think
feel more encouraged, right? Because the last week it was like he was at his lowest point that maybe he's been in his career, regardless if he's scored 15 points. He was at his lowest point. I do feel like it's like his confidence, all the other stuff is beginning to really die down, and his confidence is coming back. I do feel like that. It looks a little bit more like he's fitting into a more equal opportunity type of offense, right? And realizing that, okay, you know what? It's not working for me. I mean, I read the stats earlier today. Julius Randle is shooting the ball 16 times a game this season. Last year, he was at 18, almost 19 times. So he's shooting 2 shots less this season, and RJ Barrett is, pretty close. Him and RJ Barrett are about the same, so it seems like he's getting more comfortable with an offense that's different than last year over the last 2 games. And I think if he can do that, there's still a lot of things he's got to do better out there on the floor. But if he can do that, understand how to get his within the offense, it looks like he's getting more inside. He started the game off tonight shooting a lot of threes, but he's getting more inside, trying to play some bully ball. I love the way he's been rebounding. Throughout this entire time, he's been rebounding very, very well for the Knicks, I think. And he's still, even with playing this type of game, he had 9 assists tonight, 2 turnovers, 9 assists. He's still able to do those things. And if he can do those things and fit into a more equal type of an offense, not have to score 25 points, but be happy with his 18 points on 14 shots or something like that. I mean, I'm willing, to see if you can work it out, because I still believe if you get a point guard or a true point guard in there, it changes a lot of things with this team. But it does look like things are starting to calm down. His confidence is coming back, because his confidence was shot for a second. It was gone.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, two things that I really noticed, especially tonight in particular, is one thing that we've called on throughout the year and even last year. Quick moves, quick decisions, quick moves. The ball wasn't being held by him. And I had mentioned this early in the year, and I don't know if I expressed what I was trying to say clearly, but I think Doris Burks, that's the woman who called the game today.
Yeah.
I think she said it today, where he was early in the season, he was trying to make the defense react to him so that he can react to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now he's just making his move and reacting to the defense.
Correct.
Like, he was slowing everything down, almost like he had to make that pass, but he had to make you double team me, make me see the double team. Like, it was almost like he was reading everything too slowly, and he had to slow it down to make a read. Tonight it was a lot different. I think he was making a quick move and then reading how they reacted. If he plays like that, we're gonna be all right. The efficiency is gonna go up. And the fact that he did that and still had a 9-assist game and only had, you said 2 turnovers?
2 turnovers.
Which is great for Randle, right?
For Randle.
so, I mean, that's super encouraging to me. Because now you're playing the right way. Quick reads, quick decisions, shoot, pass, but quick. And you're still efficient.
I'm sorry. I thought you finished. Go ahead.
I mean, no, and his efficiency was better today. His rebounds still there today. Assists above his average. So yeah, I think it's super encouraging. I wish it would have came sooner. As a team, you know what I mean? Like, the team fought hard tonight.
And his on-ball defense, when he's engaged, he's a very good on-ball defender. Go ahead.
Do I have to be the guy again? I don't want. Why do I have to keep being the guy?
That's why you got the theme song.
No, don't do it. No, you gonna piss me off.
Go ahead. Be the guy.
No, I'm sorry. He's not gonna keep fooling me. I'm sorry. You know the way y'all just sounded. You know how y'all just sounded. Y'all sounded like. How can I say this in the most respectful way? You guys sounded like when the bad kid that's tearing up the house, didn't take the meat out the freezer, didn't clean his room, didn't do nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. You know, he shut himself up.
But
we didn't hear what you said. You froze.
I'm sorry. No, so look, right? We are treating Randle like the bad kid that finally did something good. I'm not getting fooled by this. I'm sorry, man. He showed me who he is. He showed me his hand for 2.5 seasons. He showed me who he was.
Well, you know,
I think last season was an anomaly, and I also think what Randle is doing, just like, I'm sorry, bro. We're paying him. The words that we're using. This would be awesome if this was a great role player. This would be awesome if this was a great role player. Like, he's finally giving us energy. He's getting out the funk. Bro, this is a guy that we're asking to be a second or first option. I'm sorry, bro. He's given us way too many bad games this season. He's been mentally checked out. There's been a lot of plays he's been lazy. I'm not doing it. Look, if Randle plays better, yes. Even tonight, he still was bad efficiently. He's been horrible efficiently all season. Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
This stats to prove it. He's been bad. Tony, you always laughing, but it's true. He hasn't shot the ball good.
He hasn't.
Not once.
I mean, the thing is, he hasn't shot the ball good. The entire starting group hasn't shot the ball good.
No, you're right. You're right.
Neither has Emmanuel quickly. You know, this is what we asked way in the beginning of the show. Right? When you look at the fall of this entire team, the efficiency of the entire team, you're not talking about just one player. You're talking about multiple players. RJ Barrett's been playing better of late. Evan Fournier's been playing better of late. But definitely in the beginning of the season, everybody's numbers were down across the board. Regardless, I am a supporter of the basketball team. Any player that starts to play better, I feel encouraged by. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, sorry.
But Sim, no offense.
Sorry for all you people that are out there. Randle's going to probably be here past the deadline and probably past the summer. So get used to it.
But Sim, I again, right?
Get used to it.
The way we're describing him, man, like, good job, Randle. You gave effort and you did this, and this is like,
Who said that? No. See, that's not.
Let me finish, bro.
No, that's not. You just said this thing again and again. You just said this like 3 times. We get what you're saying, right? But all she did is ask, does this? Are you encouraged by what you've seen in him bouncing? Starting to bounce back and starting to come out of whatever he's been in. That's all. But truth be told, when you do have a child that's in the classroom that doesn't do well, you don't combat that with just discipline. When they do well, you praise them for doing well, hoping that behavior continues. That is called positive reinforcement. Not everybody lives by negative reinforcement.
Well, here's a positive reinforcement, Sam. $19 million freaking dollars. That's a positive reinforcement.
That's not behavior. $19 million isn't behavior shape. It's not shaping behavior. That's not, when you shape behavior, you give, if someone does something well, you say, okay, good job. Now let's work on these things. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody lives by negative reinforcement. Some people do. Some people flourish under it. Some people don't. I don't know what kind of person he is or he isn't, but some people do, some people don't. But that is what you do to a child in class. You are the one that made that comparison, so I'm just answering your comparison. Don't make a comparison and then say $19 million. I'm just
saying, man, the dude got to step up.
We know this. He does. There's no doubt about it. He's got to step up. He had 18, 12, and 9. The efficiency wasn't good. We hope that somehow, some way, that efficiency turns around. You know what I'm saying? And it's not so far, but we hope that it finds a way to turn itself around, because on a night like tonight, you need, if he shoots 9, if he makes 2 more shots, it's not going to win the game, but he's efficient from the field if he makes 2 more shots. You know what I mean? Right. And it helps the team. No doubt about it. Randle needs to be more efficient from the field. But when you look at what happened tonight, it looks like, he's getting a little bit more comfortable in this style of basketball that maybe they want to play. I still think you need a guard out there that can orchestrate that style of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about the efficiency. The only reason I wanted to move off of him was he just seemed mentally to just be so out of it. So that's me. And, I'm just saying, wow, the past 2 games, and I get it. Somebody in the chat said it's a low bar, but I'm just saying the past few games, he seemed to be back to himself. The efficiency, I'm not talking about the efficiency. I'm just talking about just the engagement in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. He was more engaged. Efficiency wasn't there. So hopefully he's getting the mental part of the game right. And starting to come out of it. So we can hope. You know what I mean? And then see what's going to happen coming into the trade deadline. I do want to talk about that for a little bit before I get out of here. Always things going around about this guy, that guy. Tony, do you have any expectations for the Knicks for the trade deadline coming up? February 10th, 8 days away. Do you think the Knicks are going to make some serious moves at the trade deadline? Which way do you think they go? And I guess a lot is going to depend on this 5-game road trip and where they are after this road trip. I think that's going to say a lot about the trade deadline. But of course, they're negotiating now before this 5-game road trip. Leon Rose is taking calls from people. Where do you think the Knicks go? Do they move forward, or do they try to say let's break this thing totally down?
I think the ultimate goal right now is attach assets to Kimba and move Kimba. And I think as far as the main guys, the biggest guys that I think that they're going after pursuing is probably Brunson and Fox. I think obviously everybody knows the Brunson connections and everything else. I think maybe including giving Dallas back their own first round pick, I think that might be enticing. I read somewhere, I didn't read the full article, but the headline was they have a trade exception that they could use in acquiring Kemba Walker. So I think even if that was the case, that would be separate from a Brunson trade. But that's also another route that they could do, break it into two separate trades. And then Fox, Kentucky connection, the connection to, oh man, what's that? Scott Perry drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two names that I've heard the most. So I think those are the guys that the Knicks are looking at. The question is, can they pull it off? I think if they really want to, they can. I think Brunson's more likely, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah. Steph, what do you think?
I think the Knicks would be willing to move off of Noel and Burke and open up some cap space. I guess that's the question I have. Would that open up cap space, or are we so far over the cap that it wouldn't?
If they move on from Noel and Burks, I think it would open up a little cap space. You know, it depends on what they would get back in a trade, I guess.
That's true.
You know, if they made a trade and they brought back people whose contracts expire this year, then it would open up some cap space. But if they bring back people whose contracts expire next year, you know, at the same time or even beyond, then it wouldn't open up the cap space.
We won't get. I mean, if they could trade them for some expiring contracts so that we can have some cap space, I think Brunson is going to be a free agent. Then we can go after him in free agency.
I still think the Knicks are going to have some money in free agency. Right now, they did chew up some of that money by trading for Cam Reddish. Because remember, Kevin Knox was going to be a free agent this summer. Now that you traded for Cam Reddish,
right?
You got Cam Reddish's contract that you don't trade a first round pick and then not either re-sign him or extend him, whatever his contract calls for. You know, that would be a terrible look if that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cam Reddish. Yeah. Okay, so Cam Reddish, his contract ends 2022, 2023. That's $6 million. So while Kevin Knox, his contract was going to expire this summer, Cam Reddish has another year. So that eats into some of the Knicks cap space for this summer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might not do much. We might not. we might not do much at this trade deadline.
Well, for the summer, the Knicks have $120 million committed this summer already coming up. So they won't, you know, it's going to be hard for them to do anything in free agency for this summer. You know, they'll have to make trades if they want to get some things done. You know, for this trade deadline, I don't know. Would you trade for De'Aaron Fox?
I'm not a big Fox person. I mean, if the argument that he's young and he could get better over time, I get it. But from what I've seen, I think we need more of a playmaker, more of a heady point guard. I don't know if we need a scoring point. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind a scoring first point guard as long as you're setting up your playmaking. I don't want a scoring only point guard. And that's kind of how I see Fox, like a scoring only point guard. I don't see his scoring kind of setting up other players.
Right.
So I'm not that high on Fox for this team.
Yeah. The coolest said, Sim, they still acquired $1 million in that deal, in the Cam Reddish deal, and another $1 million in the Rondo deal. They did, but I don't know if that money takes away, I don't know if that money allows you to have extra money during the summer as far as cap room is concerned. I don't know if that does that.
Right. What about Noah's contract? Does that come off?
Yes.
Does that help us?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That
done.
comes
This is
off.
the last
That's
year.
done. Finally. Thank goodness.
Oh, that was last year. Oh, okay. All right.
No, this is the last year stuff.
This is the last year.
This is the last.
Thank goodness. My goodness. Been paying that guy forever.
Yeah,
And that kind of balances out Knox, right?
It does. It balances out Knox, or Cam Reddish. So that balances that out. Still, we're looking at the end of right now. The Knicks have $120 million committed.
What's the cap
For next year? I don't know.
I will say this. I think the most we're gonna do this off season, I think, is probably release Kemba and probably trade Burks.
What about the trade deadline, though? I mean, because I actually think if they're going to waive Kemba, they're probably going to do it right after the trade deadline so that he can have a chance to make a playoff team.
Yeah, I think that too, probably. I think that's what's going to most likely happen. I think they're going to just, do. I think both parties know that this ain't working.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
so.
He in the Alfred Payton role right now.
Yep.
You know what, Steph? I wish Sim's gonna like this. Tony gonna like this. I wish he was Alfred Payton right now. He's gonna play for give us defense. But man, I think
I ain't even gonna go there. But go ahead.
Yeah. But I do think I think the biggest headline you're gonna see is Burks getting traded from the Knicks, probably to a contender for maybe a second round pick or something like that. Or whatever, however they're going to match the salary. I think that's probably what you're going to be looking at. Some teams are going to need a spark plug off the bench and everything. So probably that's what I'm hoping for. And that's what I would prefer this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Just, like I said, I think after that, then you're going to get, I think that's when Kim, that's why I don't think Kim's disgruntled, because I think he was told that, hey, you're going to get some playing time after the trade deadline because one of these guys ain't going to be here. So,
yeah. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna start with Tony, and I know the chat's gonna start screaming. Right? That's cool. That's all right. I know the chat's gonna start screaming. There was a trade suggestion. I think it was Bobby Marks who made this trade suggestion, and he said trade Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, and Kemba Walker. I think it was those players to the Los Angeles Lakers for Russell Westbrook and a first-round draft pick. The Knicks get the first-round draft pick, right? And the Lakers get Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, Kemba Walker. His contract...
How many more years? Oh,
he has one more year on his contract next season, $43 million next season. That's when his contract is up. Finishes next season. If and this was I think it was Bobby Marks, but this was a former NBA GM who is now, a reporter making this suggestion, okay? If the Lakers were so he makes $47 million next season. If the Lakers were actually willing to give the New York Knicks a draft pick and then take back Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, and Kemba Walker, would you do that trade and have him around for one more season, for the remainder of this season and next season? Steph, would you do that?
I mean, at this point, I think I would strongly consider it. And the first round pick is not really enticing for me, but I think, oh man, we're losing a lot of shooting too, though.
Yeah.
And we're relying. I mean, if we do it, guess what? The young guys are gonna get to play. We're gonna need them. Cam is getting a rotation spot. Grimes is solidifying his spot, probably getting more minutes. I do it. I think I do it.
I mean,
I think I do it.
If you're taking back, and Uncle Fulio is probably somewhere cheesing, right? Because
Right.
But
me and him always agreed on that, though.
But
I just wasn't as adamant to voice it.
but if the Knicks are taking back a first round draft pick and Russell Westbrook and giving up Fournier, I mean, you're losing so much shooting. And then the Lakers are gaining that shooting. And obviously it's not working with Russell Westbrook there. But what the Knicks might be getting is, what Josh has been saying for a while, that aggressiveness that Russell Westbrook brings to the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's something that the Los Angeles Lakers would even think about or consider. Someone asked about his contract and said they thought Russell Westbrook had a player option. He does. His player option is for 2022, 2023. That's why I'm saying he would likely.
He's taking that option.
Right. He's going to take that $47 million and he would play for the Knicks in 2022, 2023, which is one more season. And then, he'd be a free agent.
Sam, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Because I do know that the Lakers barely have any first round picks. So when is the next first round pick? Because I think it's 2027.
I think they were saying 2027.
That's why I said the pick don't really mean much to me at this point.
But I will have to say this though: you got to think about this. LeBron James is 37.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's going to be playing on the Lakers because he's going to play with Bronny. His last couple of years. So that 2027 pick, I mean, you could be potentially talking about a top 5, top 10 pick.
You could be.
Because Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis stands for day-to-day. Mr. Glass. I will say this, though, Sim. I mean, I personally probably wouldn't do it. It had to be 2 first-round picks. Because the frustration...
They not doing it. Come on.
Hold on.
You think they do it too?
Sim,
You think they do it
right
too?
now, if people frustrated with Julius Randle...
Oh, no doubt.
Sim, hold on.
We might get the best Julius Randle ever.
Listen, let me tell you what. Julius Randle is praying for that to happen because that's going to take all the heat off him, all towards Russell Westbrook. And he's going to be like, bro, you can have it all. and Julius Randle's going to be the favorite son once again.
Sim, when I mean Sim, hold on. I don't think people really understand. You really might see people throwing stuff on the Garden. If Russell Westbrook is here, oh my God! But you know what though, Sim?
That would be crazy. That'd be mayhem. That would be crazy.
Sim,
that'd be crazy.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not gonna lie. I think if the Lakers would actually accept that, I think I would do it.
Because look at this though. But this part, and this is the most important part. You get out of the Evan Fournier deal, and you get cap room. Well, okay. See, now this is getting more complicated because look, right?
You get cap space for 23, 24.
Yeah, but you got to pay RJ. RJ's gonna probably get you 140.
But you can go over the cap for him.
And he ain't getting a super max.
But he's still gonna get 125, 130.
I mean,
go over the cap for him. Sign your free agents first, and then
go over the cap to pay him.
That's tough. I don't. You know what's crazy? I don't know if I got it in me for a year. Russell Westbrook. I don't know, bro.
He's gonna play hard though.
Yeah, that's
he's
the
gonna
thing.
play. He's gonna play hard.
He plays hard. He plays hard in LA, and they hate him.
No.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I know.
Look,
but the thing is, he'll be back. He'll be back to getting triple doubles in New York.
Yeah.
no doubt.
We know that.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, Steph, you know how many Lakers fans gonna be on the show? They gonna be donating to San. They go like, "Thank you, God."
But you know what? I think it's a poor fit though. Playing with LeBron, who always wants to have the ball in his hand. Well, Randle always wants to have the ball in his hands too. So that may need to change. I think Russ is better when the ball is in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Randle respects Russ enough to let him play the game that is going to benefit him the best.
And how much
He don't make
does that
nobody
take?
better around him though.
How much does that take from RJ? With as much
lot.
as Russell Westbrook needs the ball
lot.
in his hands, how much does it take from RJ if that happens?
Sam, I'm gonna be real
This
with
is
you.
one case where I think it would really take a lot from RJ because Russell Westbrook is going to be the whole team. Unless he's learned something else, he's going to be the entire team.
He ain't learned nothing else.
I don't think so. I think the thing with RJ right now
I think that's
is his mindset has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as RJ keeps the same mindset, I think he's going to be fine.
So no, Tony, no.
It's not like.
So Tony, you gotta okay. This is to me one of the underlying baddest things about Russell Westbrook. He kills people around him, like development wise.
I beg to differ.
No,
did you see what he did? Did you see what he did in OKC when they were supposed to be a wash? They were supposed to be done.
Oh my! That is
A young team around them.
That is one of the most overrated MVP seasons ever, if not the most overrated.
Why?
James Harden had a way better season. Yo, you know he was the. Hold on. But Steph, hold on. See, this is what people don't understand about Russell Westbrook. Look at there's a reason why every time he leaves a situation, they mostly get better. He's not good.
Rockets got better?
No.
That was that more James Harden or was that more Russell Westbrook?
I don't know.
They weren't better when they got him after Chris Paul or John Wall.
No, you said when they leave. You said when he leaves. OKC got better when Chris Paul went to OKC, right? They were there. But when Russell Westbrook left, when Russell Westbrook left Houston and went to Washington. Houston didn't get better. And the way it's going right now, Washington's not better.
He does not make plays around him better. He does not. And if you can name me the play that he made better,
Here's the difference. What he does for the young guys around him, that's different. What he did for like a Cameron Payne, showing him how to play hard every possession. That's a guy you do want to learn from.
Chris Paul did more for Cameron Payne than Westbrook ever did for Cameron Payne in 1 year.
After the fact, I'm talking about when they were playing together in OKC.
Cameron Payne was out of the league, bro. Come on, Tony, stop. Cameron Payne was out of the league.
Am I naming the wrong person? Was Cameron Payne on OKC?
Yes, he was. But Cameron Payne was out of the league for a minute. Then when he went with the Phoenix Suns, everybody was talking about him. He was a killer off the bench. He was doing all this. He wasn't doing that, bro.
So he didn't play well with Westbrook?
Westbrook has played with Sabonis, Victor Oladipo, and they all had better seasons after they left playing under Russell Westbrook.
But this is the thing. But this is the thing with Westbrook.
I'm talking about the young guys, the guys that were looking up to him.
Bro, looking up
the guys he had chemistry with.
You can look up to them. People look up to Carmelo Anthony. He didn't make nobody better.
This is what I'll say about Westbrook. He's just a hard guy to play with. I don't think he's selfish. He does share the ball. I just think that you got to put a certain type of team around him. He reminds me a little bit of like Allen Iverson. You got to put a certain type of team around him because he's just ball dominant. And I just don't think the Knicks would be able to do that with Randle. I just don't think Randle and Westbrook fits. But I disagree with people who talk about his IQ. He does turn the ball over. Lord, he does turn the ball over. But I disagree with people who say that, he has a low IQ. He's not a leader. This guy goes out and he gives you everything he has for 48 minutes.
The same thing we asking Randle to do that. We're asking Randle to do that right now.
Yeah, but I get it that he's difficult to play with. No doubt about it.
And and I'm not arguing with you. Russ plays hard 48 minutes, but he doesn't do it the right way. I'm sorry. He's just, to me, he's a guy for all his athleticism that he has, not a really good defender. He's useless off the ball, totally useless. He just, to me, and Westbrook is who he is. He's not changing. That ain't happening.
He's not.
And he is who he is, and I guarantee you, I will bet whatever I got, Tony, Josh would be pissed off. Would be pissed off if Russell Westbrook was here, and you would see RJ development. That's done for that year with Russell Westbrook. That'd be done. All the young kids, that would be done. I guarantee you, Tony, you would be pissed off. I promise you, because every fan base, I'm not even joking. Every fan base complains about Russell Westbrook. Every time he's on their team, they know one thing: he's gonna turn the ball over. He's gonna brick threes. There's not gonna be no. We already struggling with.
Let me ask you this about RJ. Let me ask you this about RJ. Let me ask you this about RJ. Did RJ change, or did the team start going to RJ, and that's why he's playing the way he's playing?
RJ's development got better. He got the ball in his hands.
But I think initially
RJ's being more aggressive.
Once he became more aggressive, then the coaching staff started, changing things up a little bit.
As long as RJ stays aggressive, RJ will be fine.
Okay, hold on. So
as long as he keeps that mindset, he will be fine.
Tony, so tell me this, Tony. Tell me this. And please, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. We've seen Russell Westbrook play with Kevin Durant, Paul George.
Went to the finals.
He went to the finals with Durant now.
Okay, 20.
Don't use that one.
10 years
You're going to talk about how long ago it was?
10 years ago when they were babies. Okay, fine.
That's when they played together.
Okay.
You brought him up.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. I will take Kevin Durant out. Fine. I will take him out. He's played with LeBron James, James Harden, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony,
Playoffs.
Bradley Bill. I'm trying to think who else he played with. Dwight. I don't know if he played with Dwight Howard. No, that was James Harden. He's played with arguably top 15 guys. What has he done?
It's not just his fault. What did the other guys do too?
No, but Steph. But no, I'm saying that he's played.
No.
He's played with.
But wait a minute, because Kevin Durant
left and went to
a championship team.
No, we can't talk about. So why did he leave? So why did he leave Russell Westbrook?
But wait a minute. But let's not act like
Kevin Durant literally told us. Hold on. How many rings Harden got without Westbrook?
But Tony, Kevin Durant literally.
How many rings Harden got without Westbrook?
See, you're trying to diss the argument because I'm trying to tell you, Kevin Durant literally told us why he left OKC.
Okay, that's his side of the story.
How many rings Paul George got without Westbrook?
Right. The other guy.
How many rings did Melo get without Westbrook?
How about James Harden?
So the only guy that left playing with him that got a ring was Durant, who went to Golden State.
All right, so no. All right, so
that's for everything.
That's the truth, because none of those guys, besides KD, left Russell Westbrook and went and won a ring. None of them did. KD did because he went to Golden State, a team that had already won a ring.
Okay, so explain this to me. Why are they struggling? Why are the Lakers struggling? Why do we feel like we can beat them?
Russell Westbrook is difficult to play with, but I don't think you could put it on.
If he can't play with LeBron, he's not gonna play with RJ Barrett. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What? RJ Barrett is not LeBron James.
But Steph, you're missing what I'm trying to say. If he can't play with RJ Barrett, I mean, if he can't play with LeBron James,
but LeBron is not easy to play with.
Russell Westbrook Julius Randle.
LeBron is not easy to play with.
Yeah,
LeBron is a top.
Because
LeBron is a top.
He's ball
player of all time. If he can't,
your better argument would be questioning Randle playing with him. Would be a better argument
because
in my opinion.
Because Isaiah, you're talking about truly top tier super alpha guys. Russell Westbrook, LeBron James.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's not getting it.
No. You're not. You listen to what I'm saying. You're talking about him being with a super alpha. He's a super alpha. LeBron's a super alpha. AD, probably not. I don't think. Right? When you go into a team like the Knicks, I mean, obviously everything's going to be different the way you play basketball, but RJ's not a super alpha. Nobody on the team is a super alpha. You know what I'm saying? Which makes him the super alpha guy on the floor. You know what I mean? Right. So when you say, if he can't play with LeBron, what makes you think he can play with Randle? Because he automatically takes the top spot.
No doubt.
That is a big difference. He's not the top dog there.
Right. And keep in mind, we're not doing it because we're trying to win with Westbrook. We're doing it for cap space, assets, and what have you. Because if we were talking about winning with him, I'd be like, nah, I don't think
because
he's a good fit.
You're right. Because if you brought him in, you got one more year, $43 million.
Right. That's
so you
what I'm
get
thinking.
rid of Evan Fournier's contract. You pick up a draft pick, and then let me see how long is Burks' contract, and then you get. Hopefully, he helps to shape your mentality for a season. You know what I mean? And then when you're talking about Alec Burks, you get rid of Alec Burks' contract ends in the same season. Evan Fournier's contract would go beyond one season.
You're going to stunt RJ's growth. I'm sorry.
I never believed that. I just never believed that one player can stunt another player's development.
I've seen it with Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry. I've seen it.
But I hear what you're saying.
You've seen these guys?
You've seen it?
He's done it? I haven't seen that.
Paul
George.
Reggie Jackson?
He's played with Sabonis. He played with Victor Oladipo. You ain't hear nothing about them.
Sabonis is doing fine.
After Russell Westbrook stuff.
But how did it stunt his growth if he's doing fine?
Better as they get older, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that, right?
I hate when y'all do this because if we got him here, y'all be pissed off when he's here. I promise y'all.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think he's going to stunt his growth. But if you want to say he won't have the ball enough, he won't get enough shots, whatever, I get that. But he's going to stunt his growth where he's not going to develop into the player he's going to become because Russell Westbrook is here. That's hard to believe.
I mean, when you look at Sabonis, he was a rookie when he played for OKC. After his rookie year, he went to Indiana.
Right.
He was a rookie when he played for OKC. Huh?
He
was a rookie.
Because rookies blossom over time.
Victor Oladipo wasn't playing his best basketball when he got when he got traded. When he got traded to Indiana, came an All-Star. He wasn't an All-Star with the OKC.
Bro,
but you don't think
players get better as they get older?
Listen,
at least they should.
When Victor Oladipo was in Orlando, the season before he got traded, he averaged 16 points a game. When he went to OKC, he averaged 16 points a game. He was shooting better in OKC. He shot 43% when he was in OKC. When he was in Orlando, he shot 44% when he was in OKC. His three-point shooting went up from 34% to 36%.
And what happened at the Indiana? When he got to Indiana?
But what I'm saying is, you act like...
Oh, you can't say that.
No. Because of age, just the natural development.
Even if it gets better, that's his trajectory.
Yes, would you stop and listen for a second? Right? He was averaging the same thing when he was in Orlando. So he went to OKC for one season. He averaged the same thing. Now, of course, if you go to a team that does not have a caliber player as Russell Westbrook, you're going to average more points. So, okay, he averaged 23 points a game his first year in Indiana. What'd he do his next year? He averaged 18. What'd he do the year after that? He averaged 14. No Russell Westbrook there. I mean, I understand about the way that Russell Westbrook plays. I get it. Yeah. But it doesn't mean. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean. Hold up. He got more shot attempts. He got one more shot attempt per game with OKC than he did in Orlando. So he still touched the basketball as much as he did, or more than when he was in Orlando. It's not like he didn't. So maybe RJ would still touch the basketball.
Right.
Either way, I don't think that's going to go down. But if the Los Angeles Lakers would accept that, I would do it.
And I'm gonna just say this. There's a reason why they're open to trading Russell Westbrook. That's it.
He's not a fit for them.
Yeah.
He's not a fit for them.
Hold on, but Steph, LeBron picked him himself.
Okay.
Himself, he picked him.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
But y'all think he can play with Julius Randle and all that?
One season, like Josh said, it's a chess move. It's a chess move.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
a
listening to
long-term
John.
contract.
You gotta think beyond just that sometimes.
But Sim, hold on.
Think beyond.
But Sim,
You gotta think beyond.
this
You
is
said
really-
you said you want to get out from under Evan Fournier's contract, right?
Oh, no. I said no. I didn't want to get
No,
out.
first you said yeah.
Oh, now you're holding on to the end. Now
First you
you're
said
holding on to
yeah.
the
You
end.
know what I'm saying? And you want to pick up more draft picks so you can get these young point guards that's coming up in the draft.
All right, listen. I'd rather take this first round pick that we got this year.
You would still have the first round. You would still
Go
have the
get your
first round
point guard
draft
of
pick.
the future. Don't even think about Russell. Go get your point guard.
You would still have the first round draft pick. Just saying. I doubt that it would happen. But all I'm saying, if the Lakers were willing to take those three and give us Russell Westbrook and a first round draft pick, I think I'd be on that.
Yeah.
I think
We
I'd
off
be
those
on it.
contracts.
And you're off those, you're off at least.
And it's an expiring at that.
Yeah, I think you're
But hold on,
off
though.
Evan Fournier's contract.
Hold on though. Think about this. Like Sim said, I'm going to use similar logic. These last 15 games, Evan Fournier's been playing great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me he wouldn't be more valuable than Russell Westbrook if he continues to play like this?
Who?
Not
Evan
for
Fournier.
not for a season that you're not making the playoffs.
Hold on though, but if you're a playoff team and you got Evan Fournier giving you a great 16-17 on the Knicks team on great efficiency, you're not gonna give him a first round pick for that?
I actually believe if this team is close to the playoffs, and I'm sorry, and we all, including myself, might not like the way it looks out there on the floor, but if you say, will Evan Fournier or Russell Westbrook take you to the playoffs if you're close? I'm going to put my money on Russell Westbrook to take you
You
to the
are out of your
playoffs.
mind.
Okay.
Are you serious?
You are out of your mind.
I am going to put my money on Russell Westbrook to take you to the playoffs.
It may not be an efficient run,
two.
but we'll
Yeah.
get there.
You are.
If you're comparing them two, I'm just saying, if you're comparing them two, Evan Fournier and Russell Westbrook, which one is going to take you to the playoffs? If that's what your goal is, I'm going with Russell Westbrook to do that. And it still sets you up where, after one more season, you can get rid of it. You got a $43 million now, $43 million that you can spend.
Evan did go to the playoffs with the Magic, by the way.
He did. But if we're talking about someone who you got to say, I am going to put my team on his back, I would bet that Russell Westbrook could do it over Evan Fournier. That's all I'm saying there. I'm not saying that's what we're asking him to do. I'm not saying that's what we're asking him to do.
This is how bad our season is.
But Isaiah, we're not bringing him in here to try to win and be a championship contender. We bringing him in to get off a contract so we have $43 million in cap space to go kind of reset this and go get some more players that kind of fit better than Fournier and Kemba.
Right, because in that 2000, let's put it like this, in 2023, which is when his contract would expire, for the New York Knicks in 2023, they owe, for 2023, 2024, they owe $47 million, right? That's what they have on the book. That includes Evan Fournier, all right, his $18 million. You take that $18 million out of there if you made that trade for Russell Westbrook. You take that $18 million out of there, and now you only owe, what is that? $28 million. You know what I mean? That's a big difference.
That's $80 million in cap space.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but you're not being
with RJ still there, with Randle still there.
Is that RJ's extension?
Huh?
You could use that $80 million and then sign RJ afterwards because you could go over the cap.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what about Mitch?
I mean, what I'm saying, we're talking about right now, where it is right now. Obviously, you're going to sign some players, but if you're talking about you got $80 million and you got to sign 30 of it, away to those guys, you still got 50 to spend. See what I'm saying? That's where you're talking about, okay, you can see, you could see where that would be going. That would also mean that they're saying, you know what? All right, they're riding it out for a year. Maybe they do make a playoff run or whatever, or sneak into the playoffs or whatever happens. But they know that they're freeing up, a good chunk of change for that 2023, for that 2023 season, free agency.
And you know what else happens?
Just saying.
If by chance we get lucky and we win some games, and Westbrook actually becomes an asset, now you could re-sign him at a fair deal, long term.
That's not happening.
And still have money. You think he's getting another $40 million somewhere?
Yeah.
Tony, I can guarantee you, Russell Westbrook positive. That's not happening.
What's not happening?
What's not happening?
Westbrook being a contributing player to winning. That's not happening.
Wow, that's a strong statement.
Steph, how many teams has he been traded to?
Oh my goodness gracious!
But it's not always his fault, though.
Tony, why do you
It's
do
not
that, bro?
always his fault, though. There's other guys there. It was him and Paul George, so they didn't win. It's his fault, not Paul George.
How many times Jimmy Butler was traded?
It's his fault, not Harden's fault.
Jimmy Butler been traded 3 times. But guess what? He brought Minnesota back for going to the playoffs.
Oh my God!
That was him.
Westbrook is the guy that brought OKC to the playoffs after everybody left him.
He did
by himself with a bunch of young guys.
Well, why did everybody leave him?
To not get a ring.
Now you switching it up now.
Yeah.
I'm just not high. I'm sorry. Russell Westbrook is
no. Listen. I agree in this. He's not easy to play with. He is ball dominant. Don't get me wrong. So I get that part, and he does his decision making at times is not great. I get that. He turns the ball over. He's not efficient. I get all of that, but he could still drop 30, 10, and 10 with all of that.
Okay.
And he's gonna play hard, but I get it. He's not a great fit.
Steph,
and
you know what's funny,
or
Steph?
2020 and 20.
Steph.
Yeah.
Steph, if he was on the Knicks, I just see how.
But we have a reason.
This is a movie script, Steph, of how bad it's gonna be.
But it's a reason. We're not doing it. I know. It's not. I know he only be here for a year and a half. I know that, but it would be a rough year and a half. I'm not gonna lie to you. It would be rough.
Okay. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers are up right now, 84-81 over the Portland Trailblazers. Russell Westbrook has only taken 10 shots. He has 12 assists and he has 9 rebounds, and he only has
how
8
many
points.
turnovers?
He only has 8 points. He has 4 turnovers.
Hold on. I just want you to know that's a good night for him. That's a good night.
Listen. If you have the ball in your hands and you're making 12 assists, you got 4 turnovers. He averages 4 turnovers a game. So if you're saying 4 turnovers is a good night for him, you just said that's a good night for him. That's what he averages per game.
Him and James Harden are neck and neck and leading the league in turnovers.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm just saying, he's about to get a triple-double tonight without shooting the ball a ton of times.
Yep. Okay. I mean, y'all let that, y'all kill me because y'all let that trouble. You almost let me touch it.
It is
y'all
funny.
let that triple-double crap fool y'all. Stop letting that triple-double crap. That triple-double stuff with him. Stop letting that fool y'all with him.
Why? They're winning the game.
Oh God. Okay. I'm not going to argue about. I'm not gonna argue this because this is more personal because I just don't like him as a basketball player.
Yeah, we know that. Anyone that you don't like, you just it don't matter what they do.
I'll be right though. I'll be right when I don't like him. I'll be right. By the way,
you don't like him. He's not a perfect basketball player, no doubt about it. No. But if you get a good move that sets you up for the future, you might have to do it the same way the Knicks traded for T-Mac to try to set themselves up for the future.
Yeah, we'll see how that worked out.
T-Mac was done. Well, it worked out the way that they wanted it to work out because they had a whole lot of money. Now it comes, what do you do with that money?
Right.
You know, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm up out of here. I know we got all into Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because the trade deadline is coming up. Russell Westbrook probably ain't going nowhere, but you never know. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Be peaceful, and we'll talk to you real soon. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.